And we've got some drama with the Karen Reed Foreman. Shout out to our guy. He has not released his name yet, so we're just going to call him Mr. Foreman. But he's speaking out in another interview, and he's taking shots not only at the police, not only at CPD, but he's also taking some heat on the internet, as a lot of these jurors who have spoken out have taken. So let's see what he had to say in this interview from NBC 10 out there in Boston.
What raised questions for you about the police investigation?
Um,
Mr. Jury Foreman.
um, I well, what raised first and foremost the house. I mean, from if I was in that house, I know that house would have been stormed first and foremost. Like no one went into the house. Someone's laying on someone's lawn, but no one goes in the house. You know, it just doesn't make sense in large part. And that was just one hole amongst many holes that we had to sift through.
How would you describe the police investigation into John O'Keefe's death?
Uh, no justice in a certain aspect.
Dang.
It was really say shot, not even say shoddy, because then it's, I would say lazy police work, because in large part there's certain things that you kind of learn 101 about collecting evidence, making sure no one's near the crime scene, how you do when you talk to witnesses, all the things 101, they was all
I agree,
done
Brandon.
lazy. When how do you uh, have interviews with all the people all at once that's supposed to be suspects? No one was separated. It was all done in one group. That that alone, it just leaves so many speculations and everything. It was nothing to grasp on.
Do you believe there was any
That's so
collision?
true.
No, I believe Karen Reed is not guilty.
I mean, this guy, I love his answers. He is so straight and to the point. No. We saw the evidence, guys. We're not blind. We saw the blue paint. And we heard Hank Brennan say that whole entire test, experiment, show was not even to prove that John O'Keefe was hit. It was all a theory, and a bad theory at that. Shout out to this foreman, man. Amazing.
Did it put extra pressure on you being the foreman?
Obviously.
When I first received the message, at first I was like, okay, let me see. But then when I got in the room and all the evidence there, I was like, whoa, okay, now I
It's
got
not
to
fun.
orchestrate this. But it was truly a group effort, and we all trusted each other. All the jurors trusted each other after having we could call it a friendship in which we had amongst each other, in which we understood what was going on in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
How did
Great
you
job.
approach this case?
Well, I approached it like how any juror should be approaching it, and walking in there understanding this is supposed to be an innocent person, and now now the prosecution has to prove the charges, and the prosecution didn't prove the charges.
At all.
It was
It's not even close.
well, aha moment, like wow, they're reaching, and which was when they talked about the holes on the back of the hoodie
Oh,
and everything, and then they had to point back and bring us back in and tell us, no, those was holes that was made by the forensic person, and it was like, oh, so how we again
what
more
are we doing
holes
here?
that we have to sift through and try to figure out more games that's being played.
What evidence stood out regarding driving under the influence?
Well, her own testimony. That's what really kind of what solidified it. We looked at three different
Exactly.
clips, and then we counted all the drinks at the 2 bars and everything. If she sipped, if John sipped, all these different things. Did they
We did the
share or
same here.
whatever? Did she actually? And then we tried to look at all that, and we went over. I say we went over the videos twice, and then we went and counted the drinks, and then we looked back at her videos, and we was like, this is the only thing
Yeah,
that's
they
solid.
were. Yeah, and we said this so many times as they were deliberating, even before they came back and asked if the video clips of Karen Reed were evidence. We said this so many times throughout this trial. We're looking at the evidence. When it comes to the OUI, we see her take shot, drink, mixed drink, shot, sharing somebody else's drink, and then she gets in the car. Guys, come on. We said this. You can be the most experienced drinker in the world. You're going to be tipsy. Karen Reed said she was tipsy. We saw her leave. She had a glass with her from the bar. What are we even talking about?
It's the only thing we really have that's solid that we could feel honestly, truthfully, like we could charge her only with this.
When
Yep.
you just started deliberations, were you leaning one way or the other?
When I entered deliberation rooms, I still was leaning, she's innocent. Let me hear from everybody else.
There you go. Shout out to the Foreman. Absolutely amazing. And we got to protect this man because y'all see he's out here taking some shots of his own now. This is insane. This was posted on X by Turtle Boy. And he had something that he saw and pointed out what someone was saying about the Foreman. Now, keep in mind, there's people on both sides that strongly disagree with other people. I know y'all had a lot of smoke for Julie Grant because she had her strong beliefs about what happened with Karen Reed. And now this Foreman, who was just doing his job and saying what he felt and believed, is taking some heat on the internet, of course. I don't know who this is. I'm not saying that, but mass mafia, we'll call them. This whole situation is wild, but let's read what Aiden had to say about this. And he's got a lengthy post about this on X. He said, last night, Kate Peter, who is working with Zora from Netflix, the Norfolk County DA's office, and the state police issued a series of racist tweets directed at the foreman of the Karen Reed jury. She called him an Uncle Tom. Oh my goodness. If y'all don't know, that's a racial slur that is meant to demean black people who are perceived as not sufficiently black. Basically my whole life. After receiving massive blowback, she deleted the tweet and attempted to word salad her way out of it, but only continued to say more racist things. I don't know who this is, the mass mafia, and y'all can see Aiden's account of it. I'll drop the link in the chat. But this person says, whoever this is, says, no, what I'm saying is that although I recognize the term as pejorative, I do not consider it racist. Oh, boy. What? I guess that's up for debate. And I think it more than applies here. For what this man has self-disclosed, he is one of the most desperate. What? He is one of the most wealth-desperate neighborhoods in the area where gentrification has pushed people out and driven house prices up, disproportionately affecting generational black families. He works with the area vulnerable youth. The young men he works with are 10.1 times more likely to have their rights violated by police and 2.5 times more likely to be killed by police than someone like Karen Reed. Okay, how does that make him an Uncle Tom? Yet he is out here on TV doing backflips for her, spreading her fantasy. What? While ignoring the reality in his own community entirely. What does Karen Reed have to do with the black community? Oh, gosh. I don't know. Maybe I'm too... This is insane. This is the definition of riding hard for white privilege. Maybe the conversation makes people comfortable. Fine. If we're going to talk about white privilege, I think we should be talking about how, as someone mentioned in the comments, how the police showed up to these white folks' house and found a dead person on these white folks' lawn and didn't go and investigate the white folks' house. If we're going to have this conversation, which I'm not going to, I really don't care. I don't have dead people on my lawn. I abide by the law. Y'all can have that conversation. If we're going to have the conversation, why are we just avoiding that part of it? And then a white person got blamed for that dead person on their lawn. So a man saying he's seen the evidence of this white on white crime, allegedly, right? And saying that the white person is innocent. What do we do? What are we talking about here? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing it. Y'all are going to have to help me out. They also go on to say, yet he's on TV doing back flips. I should say black flips for her and spreading her fantasy while ignoring the reality in his own community. But didn't it say he works with the area's vulnerable youth? So what should he do? I don't understand people like this. So should he just convict her because she's white? Or should he be on TV saying, oh yeah, bring Karen down. Blonde hair, white girl, lock her up. But I feel like Karen Reed has attempted to appropriate enough off black culture without actually recruiting a black man to do it. And he's clearly not dumb. So it's not like he's being duped into it. I have no idea what this person is saying. J-Rock responded, you lost me on this one. We can agree that Karen Reed actually did it. No, we can't. But this is not staying in that lane. Take some time and calm down already. Yeah, I've never seen this guy on TV advocating for the kids he claims to work with, or his neighborhood, or anyone but the media savvy, wealthy female psychopath for whom demanding the FBI capitulate to. Okay. I'll read a little bit more of this and then I'm done. Okay. Or anyone but the media savvy, wealthy female psychopath for whom is demanding the FBI capitulate to. If that isn't overt subservience to the upper echelon of white America, I don't know what is. It's easier to swallow when it's equally out touch white people, or I think out of touch is what they meant to say, white people from Norwood or whatever, but it's not. It's an effing immigrant and a black community worker. She's talking about Paula Prado. At some point, a spade is a spade. They should know better. The media tour for her is un-effing real, coming from the very people who get effed over by the system before Karen effing Reed. People like this. One thing I know, and I've seen a lot of people like this in my lifetime. People like this, if you don't agree with them, then they're going to throw you away. They're going to say you're the worst of the worst. This man, as already said by MM, is out here putting boots on the ground and serving the underprivileged in his area. And that's still not enough. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I've never heard of this person before. I'm going to stay far away from them. Shout out to Aiden for bringing light to this, but I'm not going to go on and read the rest of it. If you guys want to see it, I'll leave a link to this post from Turtle Boy in the comments and in the chat. Let me know what y'all think. This is super weird.